A word of warning. Tighten your purse strings when in Bock, lad. There are few shrewder than Eloise in matters of business.
Otto said you were in the Dominion when it fell. You weren't why it fell, were you?
What'll happen to the gardens? Too many more days of this and it won't matter how clear our water is or how rich our soil. Without the sun, everything will die.
We'll get through this, Martel. I promise.
Our toil, our sacrifice, will all be for naught if the sun is lost to us.
Otto said you were in the Dominion when it fell. You weren't why it fell, were you?
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
Never. Day on the boat. Kinslayer.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until they've slaughtered every single one of us!
How do you suppose they'll manage that? You ever seen one of the blue bastards swim?
I was thinking I might pen a novel of my own. To tell the story of the hideaway. I change all the names, of course. Well, except for mine, that is.
We've received word that the displacement stacks have arrived safely in Canva. The rest is up to Mid.
All this fuss over a few dark clouds. You'd think the people here had never seen a storm before.
That leather loosener was only the first of the discoveries the Alembics gonna help us make. Just you wait, Sid. Just you wait!
What happened to the sky? Do you think Sid broke it?
Hush, you two. He did no such thing.
After Drake's head,
I was beginning to wonder if you'd lost interest in Sid's grand scheme. But here we are. Another crystal cracked, another nation in disarray. You wear the mantle of outlaw well.
The girls here can have Otto and Gav and Gareth and Cole and all the rest. My heart beats for another. Now, if only Lady Taya would let me into the infirmary to see him. The girls here can have Otto and Gav and Gareth and Cole and all the rest. My heart beats for another.
Is there anything we can do? It doesn't feel right sitting around waiting for the
I can hardly lift my arms. The curses.
You just need some rest. I'll stay here with you. If you'd like, that is.
The injuries suffered by both your brother and the prince were bad enough. But that wound above Joshua's heart is unlike anything I've ever seen. Were he not a dominant, I fear he would have succumbed to it long ago. The injuries suffered by both your brother and the prince were bad enough. But that wound above Joshua's heart...
What do you make of them skies, then?
Ill omen is what? We should call back the scouts. All of them.
I pity those in the villages.
Clive! I don't mean to be gloomy. They need all the help they can get.
Anything catch your eye? Seen enough?
How may I help you today, Clive? It's not true. We've lost so much already. Your benefactors are a generous lot. All yours. Here you are. You earned this. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Back again? Till next you need me. What will it be today? Study it well, Clive. Very good.
There's talk of these skies driving men mad. Most of the hideaways on edge.
Well, it's our job to calm things down. So don't you go spreading ill rumors.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
There's barely been a shipment in since the skies started boiling. A few more days without a visit and we'll have to start eating the blankets.
Mother, save us.
Might be hard now there's only one.
Then we're all doomed.
Or the moon, for that matter.
Battle cries of dread one die, in ruin lies less. As shrinks the glim, so spirits dim, unanswered call.
Ivan's newest dish is a masterpiece.
The hideaway's lost its appetite. Can you blame them, with the skies as they are?
Sid! Look what the Cursebreakers brought back from Dalmekia. Said they were all the rage in Dalamil. Looks sort of funny if you ask me.
I'll be damned.
Have you had one before?
Something smells good. What are we having?
Bombs! And they are good. You should try one.
Eh? A bloody great hole in it. Who ate the rest?
It's supposed to be hollow, silly. Haven't you ever seen Drake's Fang?
You look like you could do with a drink. Don't be a stranger, Sid. Welcome back, Sid. Might be a mo. Oh, keep your mug handy.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite. Can you blame them?
With the skies as they are.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tyres?
Aye. All their fancy silks stained red.
Expect me to work with the skies like this?
It could be raining garms and goblins for all I care. You get back to that log or I'll have your hide. I'd say we were in for a storm. The lake seems to think otherwise.
We'll see these letters to the mainland as soon as Obolus deems it safe to sail. As for what awaits me there, well, we'll just have to see, won't we? We'll see these letters to the mainland as soon as Obolus deems it safe to sail. As for what awaits me there, well, we'll just have to see, won't we?
storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts? Some say that's one of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and sumpters, so that an ether flood wouldn't mean instant death for their riders or drivers. Me, I reckon they built it up over generations. Too many foolish traders driving their birds into floods, and only the toughest surviving. Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than most other beasts?
Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. With the darkening skies, but be that as it may, fare thee well, my friend.
It seems the hideaway has lost its appetite. Will we ever see the sun again?
Is there anything we can do? It doesn't feel right sitting around waiting for the world to right itself.
Might be Goat has some work. That, or you could join the Curse Breakers.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until they've slaughtered every single one of us!
How do you suppose they'll manage that? You ever seen one of the blue bastards swim?
Otto, how fares the realm?
The realm? Oh, she's just fine. As long as you look past the fat storms out mother crystals and her skies are a roiling cesspit.
And Gav?
He's with your uncle in the Free Cities, helping Mid with her project. Sent an owl their way the moment the winds turned foul. Still waiting on a reply, though.
Do you have any good news?
Well, that depends on your definition of good.
All right, fine. What do you suggest we do?
Oh, no, I'm just the messenger. I leave the scheming to those more suited to the task. Could be that Lady Vivian and Old Tomes have their own thoughts on the current state of things. Could be that they don't. It certainly can't hurt to ask.
I suppose not.
I see that every report that comes my way makes it into the hands of both Lady Vivian and the Lawsmen. If anyone could tell you what might be barreling down the mountain towards us, it would be that bear.
How is it that every one of your little excursions presages some inexplicable catastrophe? Not that you are to blame for the Dominion's fate. No one could have predicted the actions of the Crown Prince.
I'm sorry I couldn't save your home.
My countrymen are stronger than you think. A few toppled clock towers won't break their spirits. They'll be back on their feet in no time.
I hope so.
Look at us. Bluer than a pair of bog crabs. Tempting though it may be, sulking will not help us find a solution to this mess.
You believe there's one to be found?
I don't know. But I am certain we're more likely to find it if we first examine the facts.
Beneath these darkened skies, fear and confusion reign over Valisthea. Oh, the lands around the fallen Mother Crystals had already begun to wilt for want of ether. But not like this. Crystals that filled wells and fueled furnaces. Now nothing but pretty shards of rock. And those that hang from the people's necks cast nary a glimmer of light to keep the dark at bay. It is only a matter of time before the common folk convince themselves that the end of days is upon us. Yet I fear a swift end is more than we can hope for. While most of the world thirsts for ether, the remainder drowns in it, spawning Akashic in droves. And amidst the hordes of mindless beasts, with magics as like to fail as function, even the strongest nation would falter. Rosaria and the Iron Kingdom teeter on the brink of collapse, while the tragedy in Twinside has all but paralyzed the Holy Empire. Dhalmekia fares little better. Rumor has it the ministers fled the capital after the fall of Drake's Fang, leaving their beloved republic to crumble. Waloed, meanwhile, moves in earnest. The Einherjar has been sighted off-storm. The world, in short, is in chaos. It would seem our civilization was nothing but a castle of sand, to be washed away at the whim of the waves.
A castle of sand.
Not my best flourish, but it seemed fitting. The reports I've received are considerably more blunt in their appraisal. Without the protection of their nations, it will fall to the people to defend themselves against those who would take what is theirs.
Which is only ever going to end one way.
Defending a farmhouse against a band of chocobo thieves is one thing, but pitchforks and palisades will do little to stall an army's advance. Should the King of Waloed deign to invade, there would be none to stop him.
None but us.
Or the moon, for that matter.
Is a storm coming soon? Will there be thunder?
Let me guess. You're here about the skies.
Is there anything you don't know, Lawsman?
It doesn't take a court astrologer to augur the obvious. As for what has disturbed the heavens, that, I believe, is a question the Fallen might be better placed to answer than I. And on the 6th day did the gods tear the sun from the firmament, visiting darkness upon their prideful sons and daughters. But I dare say you remember your childhood lessons on the sins of Zemeckis only too well.
You think they're connected? That Ultima was one of the gods responsible?
Well, he has certainly exhibited powers that we mortals would associate with the divine.
There is nothing divine about him.
But he wouldn't be the first god of whom that could be said, now would he? Yet for all the fairy tales that tell of the sins, there is almost nothing in the way of actual historical accounts. Had I the Journal of Moss the Chronicler, I may have been able to tell you more, but alas, I fear all remaining copies have been lost to time. You will forgive me, I hope?
Certainly not. Because there is nothing to forgive. Even without this journal, you've provided us ample wisdom. And we will always be grateful for it. Perhaps Otto will be more inclined to share his thoughts when he hears what the others had to say.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. Be careful, Clive.
Clive, we have a problem.
Only one? That would be a first.
It would. Actually, there are three. We had as many owls arrive while you were at the shelves. Martha's got a Akashic out her gates, and talk of monsters roaming the hills outside of Northreach has put the wind up Isabel and her lot.
And don't forget Dalimil. Lubor says the village was raided by bandits.
When it rains...
It fucking pours. The Cursebreakers are spread thin, taking stock of the damage in the Dominion. And even if I could get word to all of them, I doubt they'd get here in time to make any real difference. Which means... there's only two people who can.
Jill and I.
Let them know we're on our way.
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor weren't long. But what they lacked in detail, they more than made up for in urgency. Our friends need your help.
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
The messages from Martha, Isabel and Lubor.
I'm ready when you are, Clive.
The Akashic attacked us out of the blue. And there's no telling when they might be back. You'd best keep that sword handy, Sid. The Akashic attacked us out of the blue. And there's no telling when they might be back. You'd best keep that sword handy, Sid.
Beds are taken.
Martha. It's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by Akashic. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight.
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
If they ain't clawing at the gates, they're climbing up the cliffs near the lift. The lads are doing what they can to keep them out, but unlike the Akashic, they need sleep.
They were too fast. Or maybe I was too slow.
Stop that. You're alive. And that's all that matters.
I can't take much more of this. My brothers. Are they? Shh, don't try to talk.
Anything catch your eye? Take care out there, eh?
Mad dogs. The lot of them.